There is a specific moment that every single trader knows intimately, mostly because it haunts your nightmares. You enter a trade feeling like a genius. Your analysis is sharp, your lines are drawn, you look like you actually know what you're doing. The chart moves in your favor, and you see those beautiful green numbers floating on the screen. And then, right on cue, your heart starts beating like a techno drum solo. You're up a little bit of profit. Not by a Lamborghini profit, more like by a mediocre lunch profit. But your brain starts whispering that sweet, toxic nonsense. Take it now, before the market steals it back. You hover over the close button, your finger twitching. You know the plan was for more. You know the target is higher. But your emotions are screaming louder than your logic, and before you even process what's happening, click. You're out. You cut the trade. And what happens next? The market proceeds to do exactly what you thought it would do. It marches straight to your original target, hitting it perfectly, only you aren't on the bus anymore. You're standing on the sidewalk, holding your $5, watching the bus drive away. It's the classic tragedy of the retail trader, the inability to just sit on your hands. It feels harmless at the moment because, hey, profit is profit, right? Wrong. Taking a crumb when you ordered the whole cake isn't a win. It's a lack of trust in your own system and a desperate need for an emotional pacifier. Why is this so hard? It's not about strategy. You have a strategy. The problem is your psychology is made of glass. The market has a fantastic way of exposing every single insecurity you have. When you close early, let's be honest, you aren't responding to price action, you're responding to your own terror. The fear of losing unrealized gains, the fear of looking stupid, the fear that the green number will turn red and your ego will take a hit. These fears tap into deep lizard brain instincts. Since you were a toddler, you were taught to grab what you can. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Yeah, well, in trading, that bird in your hand is usually a pigeon, and the two in the bush are golden eagles. But you settle for the pigeon because you're scared. This is the paradox. Holding trades is what separates the pros from the amateurs. Amateurs are chasing the dopamine hit of a win, no matter how tiny. Professionals understand that this game isn't about feeling good right now. It's about consistency. Repeatedly exiting early destroys your risk-to-reward ratio. You risk 20 pips to make 70, but you keep taking 10 because you panic. On paper, you're a winner. In reality, your anxiety turned a winning system into a losing one. The edge didn't fail. You failed.
Here's the most damaging part. You're literally rewiring your brain to be a coward. Every time you cut a profit short and feel that wash of relief, your brain gives you a little cookie in the form of dopamine. You feel safe, you feel smart. I banked the money, you say. But then you watch the market hit the real target and the regret starts eating your soul. You're on an emotional roller coaster of short-lived highs and crushing "why did I do that" lows. You are training yourself to prioritize emotional relief over strategic discipline. Do this enough times and it becomes an addiction. You become addicted to the tiny wins, the participation trophies of trading. This addiction blinds you to the big picture. Your focus shrinks from building a career to surviving the next 5 minutes. You trade for safety, not for profit, and the market absolutely loves to punish people who play it safe. Let's get brutally honest. The reason you can't hold a trade isn't because the market is spooky. It's because you don't trust yourself. You don't trust your analysis, and you definitely don't trust your ability to sit in discomfort. And that is the job. The job is literally sitting in discomfort.
Let's paint a little picture. Imagine two traders, Trader A and Trader B. They enter the exact same position. Same entry, same stop, same target. Trader A sees the price tick up, sees a little green, and immediately wets the bed. He panics at the first pullback and exits with enough profit to buy a coffee. Trader B watches the same wiggle, feels the same fear, but decides not to be a baby about it. He trusts the system. The trade hits the target. Trader A is miserable. Trader B is counting money. Multiply this by 100 trades. Trader A is break even or broke because he keeps eating like a bird while risking like a lion. Trader B is buying a boat. That is the power of holding. It's not about being right. Anyone can click a button to enter. A trained monkey can click buy. The skill is in the holding. That is where you either grow up or you blow up. Professionals don't obsess over the perfect entry like you do. They obsess over managing their own fragile emotions once they are in the trade.
Ask yourself, how many times have you robbed yourself? How many times has your strategy worked perfectly, but you were too busy hyperventilating to let it pay you? The market isn't beating you, you are beating yourself. And here is the ironic twist. The thing you're running from, discomfort, is the only key to the vault. If you can just stop listening to the voice in your head screaming, "Abort mission," you will transform your trading. Holding trades is about emotional maturity. It's about developing the callus to stay the course. It's not glamorous. It's not the Wolf of Wall Street. It's boring. It's slow. It is literally sitting on your hands and doing absolutely nothing while your brain screams for action. But that boring discipline is what buys the freedom. You have to acknowledge that closing early isn't protecting you. It's sabotaging you. Every time you fold, you tell your brain that fear is the boss. Every time you hold, you tell your brain that the plan is the boss.
The market is a mirror, and what it reflects is your staggering impatience. It creeps in like a thief. It starts small. This is taking too long, you think. What if it reverses? Then it gets physical. Your shoulders go up to your ears. You stop breathing. Your hand hovers over the mouse like a claw. You aren't looking at the chart anymore. You're looking at your own anxiety. You closed the trade early, not because the chart said so, but because you just couldn't handle the weight. Time is the most ruthless pressure in this game. The market can move in your direction, but if it doesn't do it fast enough for your modern, TikTok-fried attention span, you unravel. Imagine sitting there for 30 minutes. One trader is inventing reasons to leave. Maybe there's news. Maybe I should check Twitter. He caves. He takes the scratch trade. An hour later, the target hits. One guy got relief. The other guy got results. Most traders aren't defeated by bad charts. They are defeated by the clock. You want results on your schedule. The market does not care about your schedule. Your job isn't to control time, it's to survive it.
The real challenge is that impatience puts on a disguise. It dresses up as logic. You convince yourself, oh, the momentum is slowing. I'm being prudent by taking profit. No, you're not. You're making up excuses to stop the pain of waiting. It's like being on a flight and trying to open the door because you're bored of sitting. You know the plane will land, but every minute feels like an hour. The market knows exactly how to poke you. It rarely goes in a straight line. It wiggles, it dips, it fakes you out, it teases your stop loss, it drags sideways just long enough to make you question your entire existence. It's asking, how badly do you want this money? Most of you answer by quitting. Impatience robs you of the profit, sure, but it also robs you of the chance to build character. Soon, your trading isn't about a plan, it's about chasing comfort. You build a system with great risk to reward, but you execute it like a nervous squirrel, cashing out for peanuts.
The irony is that patience feels like doing nothing. But in trading, doing nothing is everything. It is the invisible skill. Anyone can set a stop loss. Not everyone can sit there hour after hour while the market plays mind games.
Patience feels passive, but it is highly active. You are actively fighting the urge to be an idiot. If your system has an edge, your job is to get out of the way. Let the edge work. Stop interfering. There is a difference between hope and patience. Hope is holding a loser because you can't accept you were wrong. Patience is holding a winner that just hasn't finished cooking yet. One kills you, the other pays you. But humans are wired for action. We want to do something. Doing something feels safer than waiting. Trading punishes this instinct. It rewards the lazy. It rewards the person who can sit on their hands the longest.
Here is the blunt truth. If you can't hold a trade, you will never, ever reach your potential. You might scrape by, but you won't grow. You need those runners. You need the big wins to pay for the losers. If you choke off every big win, you're just bleeding slowly. How do you fight this? You don't fight it by pretending you aren't scared. You fight it by being scared and doing it anyway. The discomfort never goes away. Even the pros feel it. They just don't obey it. Think of patience as your ticket to the big leagues. Without it, you're just another retail donation to the liquidity pool. With it, you give your strategy a chance to actually work. You stop trading on feelings and start trading on math.
So, as we wrap up this roast of your psychology, remember, holding trades isn't about reading charts, it's about character. It's about trusting the process more than you trust your sweaty palms. The market will test you 1,000 times. It will try to shake you out. Do you believe in your plan, or are you just hoping to get lucky? The long game requires you to stop thinking like a gambler and start thinking like the casino. The casino doesn't care about one spin of the roulette wheel. They care about the math over 1,000 spins. You have to be the house. The long game doesn't promise you money today. It promises that if you stop sabotaging yourself, the math will eventually pay you. So the next time you see green and your finger starts twitching, pause. Ask yourself, is this the plan or is this fear? If it's fear, take your hand off the mouse. Sit there, sweat, be uncomfortable, because that discomfort is the sound of you finally becoming a professional. This is Suck-Cess, helping suckers suck less at money.